Hi, I'm Vincent, or in Chinese name they call me Hey, uh, uh, and I'm one of the partner of Joke Studio and Joke Production. Where you see the background, we are located at Joke Studio, which is one of our core business. I'm one of the partner out of five of us. We have five friends who loves music, and then we start off back in 2000. I would say 2012, before we actually start our business here in 2013. So that was all. We didn't even plan. We didn't even plan to do a studio at all for like the first 20-ish, 30-ish years of our life. So it all comes to a chance that my band, basically this band, and then we have a very long rent for the studio, or we call our rehearsal room, maybe, back in Guntong. And then I was like, only me and my drummers remains in the band. And then we were like, oh, so how should we do? We either find a new band or we sell all our equipment and survive, right? So basically, it all comes to this kind of thinking and brainstorm that one day we were thinking, how about if we start letting people to rent our place here? I was like, that would be okay, but that would be silly to do, because you only have one room, one set of drums, one set of guitar amps, and it's not sustainable. It's only like helping a little bit, but it's not like helping you to survive or doing a business. And then occasionally, one of my friends just called me another day. He was like, oh, I know a studio in Mongkok, a very famous one, called Mono Studio. They closed down soon. They're asking if anyone wants to take the renovation, because the landlord basically requests them to revert it, like to demolish all the renovation before handing back the unit. So that would be a cost for them. And then they were like, if someone else, some business wants to do here, they can save it. So they just call, and that's how we started. They were like, yeah, we do. And then we just buy two more sets of equipment, and like drum sets, amps, and the speakers. And that's how we started with the old renovation decoration, or you say. Yeah, and then we were very lucky, because many people thought that was the Mono Studio. Used to be the Mono Studio, and then they just knocked on the door and then said, is it available to book? And we're like, yes, but we are not Mono Studio anymore. And then that's how I would say lucky, how lucky we were. And then for only 1 year, we have already paid back the cost we invested. And then that's how we started Hoking branch. That was actually considered our own studio, because we do all the layout plans, we do all the research, we buy all the equipment from scratch. And as you have been there, you know how we divide the room. It used to be one unit, because I'm an architect. I'm also an architect at work, at practice. And then so I just use my own skills to, okay, AutoCAD, SketchUp, no problem, and then I just do it, because I really enjoy doing something, because back in 2014 I was just a fresh graduate from CUHK. I was like, okay, my first real project, not only like homework. And then that's how we started. But then that's also how the nightmare started. I think the story sounds like very, very happy until this point, because we were so underestimated the difficulties from the new studio. We received noise complaints, basically once an hour, and then the police came up, and then we became friends with the police, because they know us. They already knew what happened, and then they just said the same thing. please turn it down because someone is complaining again. But then we can't like keep on like that because we have to knock on every doors of the clients to ask them, hey, can we have a lower volume? It's not possible for the drums to do it lower volume, right? And then they won't enjoy it, the customers. So after that, we actually closed down the Hoking branch for a month or two to do a re-renovation, which just after 3 months after our openings. We do all acoustics. We have box in the box. We do we have walls with brick walls, but also add on the steel, S-T-E-E-L, right? Okay. Heavy steel to make a box in the box with the steel frames, and of course with isolation pad and rock wool inside. And then that was really heavy duty. And then we spent like another big sum of money there, and then that's how we start off. Like we were because it's unlike the first deal, we were just investing the equipment. It's not really like a lot of money for 5 people together, right? But then after we do the renovation for the acoustic, basically we have calculated we need at least 5 to 6 years to have it balanced, and that's actually how it ends up. Because doing rehearsal studio has one major constraint. We are selling time, and time is limited. Like we can only rent 1 hour, and we can only rent 8 hours, 10 hours a day, and 1 hour per customer, right? We can't say, maybe we'll have 2 customers in 1 room. We can't do that. We only have 7 rooms in total back in the days. So we're doing 7 times 8 hours, and 56 hours is all we got for our generation of the cost. So basically we were just thinking, okay, maybe we will keep on doing and then open the 3rd one, 4th one. And eventually when we have more rooms, then we can start thinking of making profit from doing this business. But then one day, some of the partners said, no, we can't keep on waiting 5 years for the turnover. Maybe we can start making music event, right? Yeah, because now people knows our brand, knows what joke is. So they were like, oh, whenever they said joke, they would know, oh, it's related to music, they're related to the band. And so we start off asking if any bands wants to come to Hong Kong, or we do local shows. And then another occasion from a friend of Taiwan, he actually doing tour for some foreign bands in Asia. And then we start off with All Time Low, a band in punk rock, quite famous apparently. And we start off that show. That's our first show using the name Joke Production. So I think by 2016 we have both Joke Studio and Joke Production running. And then all good. Of course, some of the shows can't really make money, but then we were starting to thinking, oh, maybe this is a sustainable business, because after 5 or 6 years, you kind of know you can carry on or you have to close it down. And then it's all come to passion to support something that's not making a lot of money. It's basically we're just having ourselves sustaining our service to have the employees and also the customers to be able to carry on to play. Because I think, I'm not sure whether, I didn't really do a survey in Hong Kong how many rehearsal rooms of this scale are. We know there are larger scale for big concerts, but then for this kind of like a time hourly rental one, I'm not sure. Maybe 10 or 20. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me later. I just think of the days back in when I'm a student, so I have to go to, even my new band now, we also jam next door because we don't have our personal rehearsal rooms. So my new band is basically just rehearsing here. So I know how important it is to keep the place, but then it's also not quite easy to keep, to maintain the quality and the stuff, because everything you see, the gears are not really that durable after continuously playing, is especially like cymbals, drums, they all broke down like within a few months, and we have to like to fix it, or to teach the staff to fix it, or we have to suspend the service and then to fix it. So basically, it's not like because the partner, 5 of us is not doing full time here. We have a full time job. I'm an architect. One of them is a structural engineer, and then one of them is the guitarist of Color, a band, a local band, very famous. And then one of them is my drummer. He's also doing some construction business. And then one of them is, if you know Show Bros, Rental Limited, is he actually doing the PA system and all the rental audio production stuff for local concerts. So he's the boss, basically, and he is actually the one who helped us to do the financial things, because basically he just do the financial supply for most of the time. And then, so basically, it's all happens like this and running until COVID. At first, people still call us and ask if we can like still come. Do we consider here a party room or anything? Like, because my band had 5 people and then they only allowed 4 people, and we were like, I don't know, we don't know. They never have a guideline for business like us until we start to apply for the funds from the government for party room like subsidy during the COVID, because they have something like that, and then they reject us. They said, you're not party room. And I'm like, okay, we're not party room, so we carry on our business. And then we just tell the customer to like, if they say 4 people, then just 4 people. But then, of course, off record, sometimes we don't know. They just come. And then that's how we merely survive during that time at the first period. But then after, I think, half year or 1 year, it becomes more severe, because more serious. And then the business actually dropped. And 2019, we also have an event in Hong Kong. You may know the social event. Basically, we have to close down, because there were like war outside downstairs of our studio. We don't want to cause any like dangers to our customers, so or and our staffs, and so we just close it down for quite a month, and then we're back for the landlord to have the rent reduced or things. And unfortunately, like Hawking branch have to close down to save our cost, because that Hawking branch got 4 rooms and even much bigger, and then so the cost is significantly higher there. So we're quite sad to see it goes, not because we want to have two branches or whatever. It's the renovation we did from scratch. It's how it's like your baby. Your first baby, as I said, your first project, and you have to see it go. So that's really sad, but then business is business, so we have to close it in order to keep this branch. This is an OG branch, right? Or else we can't sustain. We have basically, I think, 6 to 9 months zero income. We can only survive by our savings and production money, the money from production, and also joke production also have no event, right? So I think that is the major challenge by the time. Yeah, it is getting like back to normal, I would say. Like we start to have quite a lot of gigs and concerts coming. We even have Clock and Flap at the big events, which is quite good. It tells people that, hey, we're back to normal, and people won't scare or worried about going to concerts or stuff. And so our production side doing okay. We're starting to have more projects coming in. And then for studio side, I think I would consider it sustainable, merely sustainable, like because some of the month we can barely make the balance, while some we couldn't. So I would see if there's a chance for us to open another branch sometimes later. Again, I don't know. Better to be like just our neighbor, so we can save our staff. We don't have to hire two group of staff at 2 locations. So we only have 1 group of staff here, and it's easier for admins and management. Yeah. It's 2016 when we were doing a 3 days music festival called Hot Town Festival, HEART, Hot Town. And then we were collaborating with a Taiwan organizer to have 3 days of events in Hong Kong, which is something quite crazy. Consider we are only like 3 years old company with not a lot of resources. And then we booked Kowloon Bay, a venue next to Star Hall. The round venue for 3 days with 2 stages indoor, majorly for metals, locals, and like we would say not indie band, but they are not like the first, like the top tier bands, like well, some of them are top tiers, like the Architects, While She Sleeps, Corain, and these kind of names. And I remember like very clearly after the first night, because it's really tough and difficult. The tickets totally like bad. We only have like I can't remember, 600, less than 1,000 people, and they were like, oh, that's not what we expected. We were like, we have all these kind of bands. It's supposed to be like selling good. But then obviously we misjudged the market in Hong Kong. Like there are a lot of people like them, love them, listen to them, but there are not a lot of people who wants to buy the ticket to see. I think it's one of the culture or habits of Hong Kong audience. They would like a group of people would go to concert, and then that is maybe 1,000 people, and then out of that 1,000 people, only maybe another group would go to a festival, because sometimes they want a solo concert. They don't want to, oh, I can only see them for 40 minutes, 45 minutes. They won't buy it for just them. So I think Clockenwave is kind of success, because they are doing variety of genre. So many people go there. And I remember the first night, I was at the backstage, looking at the mats, like because like the audience stand is basically a mess. And we were having an evaluation meeting like in 15 minutes. And I just stood on the stage looking down, and then my tears keep dropping. I was like, why do I have to do this? Why do we have to start doing this? We're kind of good to do business back in the studio. We can just stay there. We don't have to jump out of our comfort zone to do something that we are not capable to. Keep challenging, keep adapting myself. And then I kind of remember staff of us come to me and then ask, hey, what happened? It's all good. It's all good. It's all like just experience. It's all like maybe 10 years later when you look back, it's nothing. You're doing a very difficult job, but then at the same time you're gaining a very unforgettable memories and experience. So the next time you can do it better. Wow, I was like, yeah, thank you for comforting. And I was like, but I asked, so why do we have to do this? Do we love music like we have to like pay for everything or what? And then they were like, yeah, it's just called passion. Because you guys have the passion, so you start doing the business for rehearsal studio, not taking that money to do something else. You can make a lot of money with that money. You invest to the renovation and stuff. You can just go to buy stocks. You can just go to invest, and you eventually make money rather than you just we call it like pouring money into the ocean, right? And I was like, yeah, passion is how we really like enjoy. We didn't just say we enjoy music. Everyone enjoys music, right? You listen to it. But then I also enjoy giving an opportunity for people to enjoy music, even though there are only 600 of them down there. But they enjoy the night. They enjoy the show. And maybe that's my mission. So maybe the next time we can have some cost saving. Don't spend it like without thinking, without calculating. Maybe that will be a better show next time. So that night on the stage with my tears and my friends around me, I kind of understand why I started. Back in the beginning of the interview, I said we started because of some occasion and chance. I didn't even think of it. I didn't even plan. I didn't even have a mission or core value. Why do I have to start this? But now, after quite a few years, I finally understand, and that's why we have to keep this running even after the events and COVID back in 2019. And then that's how I wanted this studio to keep running. We have evaluation like every year to between us five, like whether we continue, whether we expand, whether we do something new, whether we have like launch advertisement campaign. We have this evaluation, and then one of the topic is so seemingly COVID has gone, and then the business is back to normal, but then it's not making money. You know, we as I said, we are selling time. We used to sell 7 rooms, but we only have 3 rooms now. So is 3 rooms okay? I can tell you 3 rooms is not okay. We can barely survive, but then I was saying, but as long as we're not losing a lot of money, just like the show, just carry on. Yeah, we serve people, right? The people come here to jam. We don't make money here. We know that. We know it like after a few years. We know this is only a side business without making profit, but that's fine. That's fine as long as everyone is happy, right? So yeah, that's the status now.